James Busher did, have to slam on the brakes like Ray talked about, then you can lose that run. It looked like he had a terminal problem. He was so slow and allowed those two trucks to get by him.
Todd Bodine looking very good around this racetrack now.
He's run up on the back of Brian Eichler and hadn't been able to make the move. Been alongside Brian a couple of times, but Todd talked earlier in the show that look at him diving to the bottom there. He talked earlier in the show that he doesn't race any differently with this big point lead. He's still going to go try to win races. I'm going to question that a little bit. He's got to be careful, I think, especially in the early going at a track like here at Darlington. Maybe more careful than he would be normally.
Maybe carefully aggressive. How about that?
Never heard that before, but I'll go with you.
Timothy Peters still out in front of this field. He has a 1.3-second lead. Whoa, what a close call there.
With a lap truck of Brent Raymer, it looked like.
He has a 1.3-second lead over Ron Hornaday, but a close call for him just seconds ago. That was Brent Raymer in the 85.
Timothy's going to go around the outside. Brent gave him just about one truck width up there.
And did you see how out of control Brent was? As slow as he was going when the leader of Peters went around him, about sucked him sideways. He couldn't hardly control his truck.
Adam, what else is happening with Timothy Peters?
Well, Timothy Peters, in reference to what just happened on track with Brent Raymer, came on the radio and said, "What was that?" And quickly replying from the spotter stand, you heard, "I'll take care of it." So there's a good conversation going on the spotter stand right now. Just before that incident on track, Peters said the truck a little snug in turns 3 and 4. They will have some work to do when they make their first pit stop.
Well, I don't think Brent Raymer liked it that much either, because he just went to the garage area.
Maybe a little too close of a call for Brent Raymer. Again, Timothy Peters out in front of Hornaday. He's got a 1.7-second lead. Lofton, Eichler, and Bodine are your top 5. The lady in black under the lights from Darlington, South Carolina. It's been an exciting one already with 27 laps in the books. Bristol week. Kicking it off is Dave Despain on assignment at 8 o'clock. That's going to be great. And then there'll be live updates on NASCAR Race Hub at 7 o'clock with Steve Burns. And obviously the big show happens on Wednesday, but it's not just trucks. We've got modifieds, trucks. It's a huge week on speed.
Yeah, we got a new set at the hub too, right?
And the Onion Toddley's going to be on the hub. He's going to be one of the guests on Monday at that new set.
And how much fun are the modifieds at Bristol Motor Speedway? That's a show, isn't it?
Talk about fast.
Great show. Mike Joy.
Great crowd too, man, here in Darlington, South Carolina. Folks showed up tonight to watch some trucks race in the middle of August in South Carolina. That's pretty cool.
And it's been so hot here in the Carolinas, but I'm telling you, it is beautiful now. It's, you know, upper 70s, but a nice night for racing as we see Timothy Peters continuing to dominate here at Darlington.
It was hot today, though.
It was hot. Then the clouds passed overhead and kind of cooled it off a little bit, but great night for racing.
Before we went away to commercial, the 30 was following the 18 of Brian Eichler. He has been able to get by Brian Eichler. Now he's driven up to the rear tailgate of the 7 of Justin Lofton. Here's how he got by Brian Eichler. He's been dogging him for several laps now. He's going to drive to the bottom. Just barely has enough room.
Yeah, he barely gets inside. And watch how long Eichler hangs on that right rear quarter panel with Todd Bodine. Todd would like just a break right there, but Brian's trying to hang in there with him. Todd slides up and swipes that spot. He's one of the fastest trucks. He's driven right up to the back of Justin Lofton, you see there. And just ahead of them is Ron Hornaday.
Lofton running in the 3rd spot. Bodine just behind him in 4th, right?
And Rick, from 8th to 4th, Todd has made all of his passes to the inside of his victims. They got ready to celebrate a big win at Nashville, and he and his wife Janet decided they were going to take the motorhome down to Myrtle Beach for a couple days. So they loaded up and left Charlotte, North Carolina on Tuesday, started to head to the beach, which is about an hour and a half away from here in Darlington. And Todd leaned over to Janet and said, "Did you bring the beach chairs?" She said, "No, I thought you did." He said, "Did you bring the beach towels?" She said, "No, I thought you did." "Did you bring the picnic basket?" "No, I thought you did." So guess what? They pulled into Darlington Raceway and celebrated right here at the track. Todd moving to the front, and they're celebrating that for sure, too, Adam.
Sounds like the relationship you and I have, Ray. I have to pick up all the slack week in and week out. Todd Bodine has stolen a lot of the fun in 2010 for this driver, Ron Hornaday. But Horn feels like he can get a win tonight in his first ever start in a truck at Darlington. The report for him in the early going, tight in traffic. He's currently scored in 2nd after starting 5th earlier this evening.
You know, there's about 900 of those stores at the beach that sell beach chairs and towels and all that stuff.
Take care of that.
Yeah.
You know, Hornaday said tight behind traffic. And I heard Brian Eichler earlier today in practice. I said, Brian, what do you think about this racetrack and who are you learning from? And he said, well, I was trying to follow some trucks around here, but once I'd get up behind them, my truck got so tight that it would push up. He said, I just couldn't stay behind him. Is that maybe a situation that Hornaday is feeling? When he gets up behind somebody, he gets arrow tight.
Well, I think it's more that you get your line taken away as well. I mean, visually, you're not hitting your marks exactly like you want to, because we said this track's real narrow, so a truck up ahead of you, it fills up almost the whole turn. So I think you lose a little bit of your vision, and it takes your line away somewhat. And then the arrow part of it is certainly a piece as well. But I think it's a multiple of things that make that happen.
And you're running right up against the wall to start with. Right. So if you get a little bit tighter and that thing starts to lose that front end, then what happens?
You get a Darlington stripe. Striping the field right now is the 17 of Timothy Peters. Germain Racing trying to find victory lane again. Tomorrow, NASCAR Race Day marches into Michigan as A.J. Allmendinger, Denny Hamlin, Juan Pablo Montoya, the winner at Watkins Glen, will join us live. NASCAR Race Day built by the Home Depot, live from Michigan tomorrow, 10 Eastern, only on Speed. Timothy Peters still out front. He has about a 3.5-second lead over Hornaday. Bodine, Lofton, and Eichler are your top 5, and a caution has come back out here at Darlington. This time it's debris on the racetrack, and it's timed out pretty well. I think guys were probably thinking it's about time to get onto pit road.
I was watching Todd Bodine. He's definitely thinking that. He had to run up to the 3rd spot, and it looked like he had something to challenge Timothy Peters with, but he's gotten really tight off the turns. When he leaves turn 2, he's losing all of his momentum over there. He swapped spots with Justin Lofton for a lap or 2. He was able to get back around Justin, but Todd's pushing. He lost this spot to Justin while we were in break, and I'll be darned if he doesn't drive right back around him. So, you know, Phil, we talk about this being a momentum racetrack. You make a mistake and have to get all the way out of the gas. I mean, somebody can drive right around you in a hurry. And that right there on the exit is where Todd's struggling. So they'll make some adjustments to that truck and look for him to pick up the pace. They can take some air pressure out of those, maybe out of that right front tire, put a little air in the right rear tire, or perhaps a wedge or track bar adjustment. They have many options that they can do. And you know what the cool thing is? They'll still make a pit stop in about 13 or 14 seconds, even though they're making all those adjustments as well.
They're about to do just that as we see the race leader, Timothy Peters, bringing the field onto pit road. We go down trackside to Ray Dunlap.
Trying to get a number on the tightness for the number 30 Germain truck. He said to his crew chief, Mike Hillman, I'll give it a 6 right now. So let's go ahead and make a major adjustment. They'll change the air pressure in the right rear and also do a chassis adjustment. Todd rolls in here, came to the pit road in 3rd place. Adam?
And just in front of him, the driver you see middle of your screen, Ron Hornaday. He talked about his truck being tight. They will make a slight adjustment to try and help the handling there. Top of your screen, Timothy Peters started on the pole, has led every lap. He too said his truck was tight, but he said he had helped it by changing his line. Jeff Hensley was going to make a track bar adjustment. They have changed that, air pressure only. Timothy Peters came to pit road in the lead. We'll see if he can win the battle off of pit road for pit stall number 1. Indeed he can. Oh, it was close.
Actually lost
Hornaday
a spot.
got him.
Hornaday got him by about a foot. Racing off of pit road there. So Hornaday moves up a spot. Peters drops back 1. Brian Eichler moving up a couple positions. Aaron's lucky dog goes to the tire monkey.
Look at that monkey on there. I bet you that monkey's scared here. I mean, right out next to that wall at Darlington. No wonder it's screaming.
Got turned around earlier in that incident.
Certainly did.
With Dennis Setzer.
When the caution came out, there were 19 trucks on the lead lap. We'll see if anybody stays out and tries some strategy to get around back on that lead lap. 200 from Darlington Raceway. How about Ron Hornaday racing off of pit road and getting the spot away from the 17 of Timothy Peters.
You see Timothy Peters in the pits. That line right in front of him. That line is not the speed time line. That one is right there. That's the pit out line, and that's how Ron Hornaday beat him to the line to get this lead on the restart.
And he almost, even though his stop was slower because he had that pit box from qualifying on the pole, he almost kept that lead, but Hornaday was able just to inch him out by a few inches.
And we'll see how well Ron Hornaday uses or chose the outside line here, spins the tires a bit now as a green flag flies.
Timothy Peters may have the advantage when they get down to this corner.
Ooh, I don't like where Timothy's at.
I don't think either one of them are going to back off. And they did.
Side by side. 4